Hey everybody, I'm Alice McClellan.
And I'm Mason McClellan.
And we're the Backtrack Brothers. Typically we go back and look at old movies, but the more we do this channel, I think that's less and less true.
We're no longer the Backtrack Brothers.
Yeah, the name stuck. I think we like the name, so we're going to keep the name, but just know we're kind of doing everything now. Right. So, now that we got that out of the way, let's introduce what we're actually going to talk about in this video.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so we had a video come out probably a few weeks ago at this point, where we talked about the movies that we are super excited about in 2023.
We did.
This is going to be the inverse of that. We're going to be talking about movies that we are not looking forward to, that we think are going to be truly terrible, and we're going to try and do a public service and help you stay away from them.
Yes, please.
Yes.
If these movies come out and they are masterpieces, then, it's not our fault because this is all speculation.
Yeah, exactly. So we're not going to try and say that, our word is gospel here. We could definitely be proven wrong when these movies come out, but we're probably going to be right.
Yeah.
Yeah. To kick things off in this video, we're actually going to talk about a unique type of movie, a certain type of movie where it can be so bad that it's actually good. And looking at this 2023 lineup, I have a few, Mason has one. So Mason, why don't you get us kicked off with a movie that you think could be so bad that it could actually be good?
Yeah, Cocaine Bear.
Oh man, we did do a trailer reaction. I don't know if it's out yet based on this video, but it's gonna be interesting to say that much.
Yeah, the title explains it. A bear gets into some cocaine that fell from a plane. Yeah.
When we saw the trailer, it literally looks like Sharknado level CGI and acting performances. So I definitely do not have my hopes up for this movie. It is releasing. All the movies we're going to talk about are releasing in theaters.
Yeah.
So this is actually something that's going to come out. You can buy a ticket to watch Cocaine Bear
in theaters.
Yeah, we're gonna. And we're saying here, we expect this to be terrible, but there's a chance this could turn into a cult movie, and I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't.
Nobody's going into Cocaine Bear expecting it to be a masterpiece movie.
Right, exactly. So when you walk in with that low bar, if it meets it or even maybe exceeds it, then people are going to say, oh man, Cocaine Bear, better than you think it is. And then all of a sudden it starts making some money, and then, it happens. It happens.
Cocaine Bear 2.
Yeah.
Heroin Bear.
That would be a much more boring movie. That'd be a really slow, methodical movie. So the first movie I want to toss out as one that could be so bad that it could be good. It's a movie called The Boogeyman.
Got it.
And there's been a lot of stabs at Boogeyman movies, but I think this one might have a unique little twist that I'm hoping could be so bad that it turns out to be really good.
What is that?
So the plot of this movie is that there's a guy, and he's meeting with his psychiatrist, and he's trying to convince his psychiatrist that there's a boogeyman that lives in his closet and is killing his children. And that's all that I know. I'm really interested to see where that goes.
There's a lot of ways it can go.
Right, because does this guy have like a mental issue where he actually thinks it's happening, but he's killing his kids? How many kids are gonna get killed before how is he not in jail already? There's so many questions just based on that 2-sentence plotline that I was given. And it's coming out in June, so it's not that far away.
Yeah, and this is in theaters.
It's gonna come out in theaters. But who knows? This could be a cool little take on an effective horror movie. But most likely not. Most likely it's gonna suck. Most likely it's gonna be absolutely terrible. But maybe, just maybe, it'll be so bad that it's good. Mason, for this next movie, I have to ask kind of like a preliminary question, just figure out what your foundation of knowledge is on the subject. Are you familiar with the Looney Tunes?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, good. No, I just want to make sure. It's old, man. I just want to make sure. All right, so you're familiar with Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner and all of those, old things. So you remember how Wile E. Coyote, whenever you would buy like weapons or traps or whatever, it would always be from the Acme company?
Yeah.
The box you'd always get? Okay, yeah. So there's a movie coming out in July. It's called Wile E. versus Acme. Let me read this for you. The story of a down-on-his-luck attorney played by Will Forte, who I absolutely love from, MacGruber and Last Man on Earth and all types of stuff. He takes on Wile E. as a client, and he is going against his old boss, who is representing Acme, and his boss is played by John Cena. So we have a legal battle between Wile E. Coyote and the Acme Corporation from Looney Tunes, and the lawyers in this are Will Forte and John Cena. Sign me up. It's gonna suck. Let me just be very clear. This movie's not gonna be good. But it's gonna be so bad that it's good. This is the epitome of this type of movie. Yeah, so this is supposed to come out in July. I will be in the theaters, fist deep in popcorn.
In the theater.
And that's fine. That's fine. I'll ask my wife, she'll be like, no fucking way I'm seeing that movie. So you know this movie is gonna be a comedy, right?
Yeah.
But what if it was like a serious, like, court melodrama? Like really intense, and why Coyote is like literally just chain smoking, talking to his lawyers. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I can't ever get this road runner. I've got all these injuries. Acme won't pay. They won't cover. My insurance won't cover the damages. I would love if that's what was going on with the movie, but I fear that's not what's gonna happen.
A court drama with like John Cena.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, John Cena's like all ripped. His like shirt's like his suit's torn on his shoulders and shit. He goes, he's just writing. He's like, I don't know how I'm gonna handle this legal. Damn it, he got amnesty. I don't know. Yeah, I would love that. I would love if John Cena could do that.
I mean, no one's gonna see this movie. Somebody will go out.
Yeah, and so my other angle of it is, I wonder how much they're gonna integrate like tunes into real world life, or if it's gonna be an animated movie. I wasn't able to really figure that out. There's no trailer or anything out for this yet. So I hope they do like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit thing, where they fully integrate the Looney Tunes world, or like Space Jam. I guess that's more of a recent example that people can attach to. It's not like that, where you integrate Looney Tunes into the real world. You know what I mean? Maybe Bill Murray shows up.
So would John Cena be kind of like, will he be in real life and not an animated character?
I'm not sure, and that's what my question is. Like, I think that's how it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be like in real life, and then you're gonna have Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner and whoever, the cartoon characters, come into our world. You know what I mean? I'd imagine that's how it would work. I could be wrong, you know? Now, everybody, we're going to move on to the next portion of this video. We're going to be talking about the truly terrible movies. The movies that we are advising you to avoid at all costs.
No matter how bad they are, they're not going to be good.
No, exactly. There's no redeeming qualities to these movies. They're going to be absolute bombs in the box office, or maybe if they succeed in the box office, everyone will look back afterwards and say, what the hell were we thinking wasting our money on that? Yep. All right, cool. So why don't you go ahead and get started, Mason? What is your first movie that you would like to talk about?
So my first movie that I want to talk about is Shazam: Fury of the Gods. I gave there was a dot in there.
Yeah. Okay, so I was really interested. So I saw that movie, coming out this year. I have not seen the original Shazam, so I did not feel qualified to throw this on my list. But I'm curious to hear what you think.
Think like a DC Marvel movie. Where there's like comedic one-liners.
Of course.
And it was filmed a little while before the memes and stuff got old, so there's things of him flossing and dabbing, so it's
awesome.
Kind of cringe. But
that sounds it.
I mean, the first one, like the things that I liked about it were the villain. I thought his like powers were kind of cool and his motives.
Interesting.
And then I liked it was kind of wholesome. I feel like for this movie, all that, the villain's not the same guy.
Different villain, okay.
It's I think it's one of those movies where there's like a couple villains, which kind of throws me off.
Gets you in trouble.
Yeah.
That's how you end up with Spider-Man 3 territory.
Exactly. And then, I think it also takes away from the wholesomeness, because there was that whole, like, I think he was an orphan. And he was in like an orphanage, and you get to like, interact with everyone in there. And now,
that's explained.
this is in the trailer, so I'm not spoiling anything, but they all have superpowers.
Oh, okay. So it kind of makes him less unique.
Yeah, and they're like, I mean, they look kind of OP. And I think it might be a Black Adam situation where they're kind of too OP for what they're dealing with. I mean, there's, when there's one of them and there's a villain who's really scary, he doesn't seem as overpowered. When there's 6 of them,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. That sounds like something I would not be interested in. There's a reason I haven't seen the first Shazam, let's put it that way. That it always seemed to me that was just like another cringy one-liner DC thing. It just seemed like it was so geared towards teenagers, no offense. But I just felt like I was definitely not the demographic for that movie. And I haven't regretted seeing it. I haven't had a single person my age or around my age come up and be like, dude, you see Shazam? Like, no, don't see that. So the first movie I want to bring up is Fast 10 or Fast X, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
This is one of mine. We were just talking about how he doesn't want to take one of mine, but
of course, it's natural. So why don't I let you lead it off? Because I know you have something to say.
I mean, for me, especially as the series went on, I saw bits, and I think I saw Tokyo Drift.
Yeah.
And
I like Tokyo.
they had cool action. It was a little bit mindless, but there was cool set pieces and stuff like that.
Right.
And I feel like now, at the 10th movie, it's got a little bit old and a little bit too mindless.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna be good.
Yeah, so I literally recently tried to rewatch this series because I originally saw the first 3 and then bailed, right? And I think that happened for a lot of people. The first, the first 3 being Fast and Furious, they're Too Fast, Too Furious.
What a name.
Which is not great. And then Tokyo Drift, but after that, like, I just fell off the wagon. I'm not sure exactly why, but yeah, and all I've heard about all of those future Fast and Furious is just they get bigger and more insane. I've heard Fast 5 is the best one, but I've heard it's probably the best one because it's a heist movie and everyone loves heist movies. So I probably would. I just haven't gotten over the 4th movie hump to get to Fast 5, but I have no interest in getting up to Fast 10. And like, there's not even like plot info out about this at all, but let's be real.
It's not gonna have a plot.
There's no plot. That's what I was gonna say. It's like, no one cares. No one gives a shit. All they care about is that title. Fast blank is coming out.
Yeah, and then the car is zooming in the sky.
Take my money. Vroom vroom. That's what I imagine in my head when they go up to the box office. Vroom vroom.
They do say vroom vroom.
Next movie I want to talk about, which hopefully this isn't also on your list, The Little Mermaid.
It's not.
Okay, good. So good. That's my movie, my territory. I want to talk about Little Mermaid. You don't get to talk about Little Mermaid.
Well, go off on Little Mermaid.
Cool. All right. So I mean, really, honestly, there's supposed to be some pretty decent performers. The idea of Melissa McCarthy being Ursula really scares the shit out of me. But that's gonna be annoying as shit, dude. Like, her moment in the sun like went away so long ago, and they keep trying to use her, and everyone's sick of her.
She fits the look.
Anyway, but it's like I just every time they do one of these real action versions of these cartoons, they never work. I don't know why they keep doing it. It really drives me nuts. Like, I actually was hoping Aladdin was gonna work out, and that just fell on its face. Lion King.
I mean, the real reason why they're doing them is because they make a lot of money.
Right, exactly, and that's I'm so glad you brought it up, Mason, because that's why this movie's on this list. Do you know how this stuff changes? If people stop buying tickets, stop going to see these movies, and they'll stop making them, and they'll start making some better stuff. It's part of the reason we're making this list. We're trying to start change. Lead the resistance against shitty movies. Let's do it. Hashtag no more bad movies.
Hashtag no more Little Mermaid.
Well, let's not do that. We might get in trouble there. People, these 2 white guys tell us we can't have Little Mermaid. All right, so a little bit of precursor discussion before we talk about this next movie. Have you been to Disneyland, Disney World, either of those?
I've been to Disney World.
Okay. Did you do the Haunted Mansion ride?
I did.
There. Yeah. Okay, good. Did you know that there was a movie made originally in 2003 based on that theme park ride?
I did not.
Can you believe how stupid that is? Someone made a fucking movie around a theme park ride.
So it's not like they based the movie on the theme park thing. They made the movie off of the ride.
Yeah, they literally took the story or the background of the Haunted Mansion ride and made that into a movie with Eddie Murphy.
What's the movie called?
The Haunted Mansion. Bunch of creativity. So I bring all of this up to say, thank God they're remaking it, because everyone's been clamoring for a remake of the Haunted Mansion. Why? What are we doing? What are we doing here? The Haunted Mansion was terrible. And now it's a movie based on a ride. What are we doing? The fact that even got made in the first place.
It's usually the other way around. That's what I was thinking, right? Where they made the ride off of the movie, but then, like you said, it was opposite.
It makes no sense. I have no idea what they're doing. So stay away. They're gonna lure you in. Listen to this cast. No, seriously. This is the cast of this movie. It'll suck you in. Tiffany Haddish, Owen Wilson, Rosario Dawson, Danny DeVito, Jamie Lee Curtis, Jared Leto, Winona Ryder, and Dan Levy. Those are all solid performers, and they're all in this movie.
This movie's gonna flop.
And anytime you have that many anytime you have that many, BC level performers and you just slap them into a cast, it's because it's a bad movie. That's how you're getting people in the seats. I see you. I know your tricks. So
please don't buy this movie.
Don't. This is what we're saying. Don't go to these movies. Do not support this BS. They're not looking out for your best interest. They're not. They're just trying to make money, and it's BS. Do not let them get away with making these lazy ass movies. It's dumb.
I wonder how much you're gonna spend on this cast too. And imagine just people realize, hey, this movie's not gonna be good. I don't want to see it. They're gonna lose all their money, which is our goal because we want them to realize they shouldn't be doing this and should be making good movies.
Exactly. Take your family to an actual original movie or do something else entirely. I'm not, I don't like to dissuade people from going to the movies, but if you're spending money on this, please stop.
Yeah, we're not just like, if there's like a few good actors in a movie, it's not like it's not going to be good, but it's like when there's this many and it looks bad.
And it's a remake of a crappy movie to begin with. That no one asked for. What is it going to be, some art house rendition? No, it's not. It's going to be the same crap repackaged. It's really sad. I feel bad that this is how this is how someone like Tiffany Haddish gets a bad mark on her fucking resume. You know what I mean? It's because she's in this movie. Like, that's the type of stuff you don't take the money, man. All right, sorry. Let me just get off my soapbox for a second.
Another movie on my list of movies that are going to suck coming out in 2023 is Renfield.
Ooh, yeah, we did a trailer reaction for this, and I kind of gave a really negative opinion on it.
Yeah, and I didn't have high hopes for it either. Yeah, it is it just looks dead.
Yeah, it looks terrible.
But Nicolas Cage is in it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the only reason people are gonna go watch it. Because I know people aren't watching it for the Aquafina comedy relief. I know that's not the reason people are going to be watching it.
I know I wouldn't. That's for damn sure. Oh my lord. Yeah, it's sad that Nicolas Cage allows his stardom to be used in this way. There's so many crappy Nicolas Cage movies that he's in like a third of it. But that's enough. They put his name on the fucking box art and then
the trailer, and they made him a vampire. That's all people need.
Yeah, it's really going to be absolutely terrible. And they bank on, there's a certain amount of people that will also just go see any vampire movie. So if you are one of those people, I want you to just take a second and think about why you're obsessed with vampires and the darkness and all of those types of things. There are people that love you, and you should spend time with them and talk with them about your weird vampire obsession.
Yes, and not go see Renfield.
Yes, please don't see Renfield. That's almost like secondary to all the other stuff. Actually, no, don't see Renfield, and then talk to your loved ones and figure out your life. Next up, Mason, I want to talk about a movie that, I don't expect it to be a big hit. I don't think the people that even made the movie are expecting it to be a big hit. But I just want to point out, it's just an embodiment of the sad state of comedy movie world we're in. There's a movie coming out called About My Father.
I have not heard of it, so there you go.
Yeah, and you probably won't because it's gonna fucking flop. So it's it used to be an old thing that when stand-up comedians got big enough, they would get a special, and if their special was big enough, they got a bunch of specials, and then if that was big enough, they would get movies. Like that would happen with Dane Cook, and that's how Eddie Murphy became a movie star. Yeah. All these people started as stand-up comedians, right? So Sebastian Maniscalco is a stand-up comedian, and he's gotten to that point, and he is now trying to do that. The problem is, it's not 2005 anymore, Sebastian. Shit doesn't work.
It's a little late.
Dude, it is literally the most played out comedy plot of all time. They pulled Robert De Niro's dusty ass off the shelf to have him be the gruff granddad who doesn't like the other people, which he's played in about 40 movies at this point. Just go watch Meet the Parents. It's so much better. Anyway, so let me just read this and just listen how dumb this is. The film centers around Sebastian, who they don't even write a different name for him because I guess he doesn't want to have to deal with two different names on set. So Sebastian, who is playing Sebastian, is encouraged by his fiance to bring his immigrant hairdresser father, Robert De Niro, because Robert De Niro would be a hairdresser, to a weekend get-together with her super rich and exceedingly eccentric family. It's gonna be the rich people against the poor people. How will they possibly be around each other? I bet some nutty hijinks will ensue. Don't you agree, Mason? So this next movie we're going to bring up, it's another comedy, which this is just a whole different breed. I've never seen a movie like this. This seems like it's going to be very unique. It comes out very soon. It comes out in early February. It comes out February 3rd. It's called 80 for Brady. Have you heard of it?
Oh my god.
Yeah, you might have seen the trailer.
I have seen the trailer.
It's about 4 elderly women that go to one of the Patriots Super Bowls. They're all humongous Tom Brady fans, and they go to the Super Bowl where he leads the epic comeback against the Atlanta Falcons, where he comes back from 28-3. Yeah. And the whole story is about them going there and meeting Tom and blah, blah, blah. How I saw it described online is that it's The Golden Girls meets The Hangover. To which I say, huh? And you know what, in hindsight, I probably should have put this in movies that could be so bad they're good.
Yeah.
I could definitely see this tripping in that territory. But the problem is, it's not gonna be The Golden Girls meets The Hangover. It's not rated R, number one, so that completely takes it away from ever getting to Hangover territory.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it was rated R, I might consider going to see this movie. You know, but what I think this movie is actually going to be, I think it's just going to be a bunch of old New England women with their Massachusetts accents all in movie theaters, eating their jujubes and flicking their own little jujube, if you get what I'm saying.
To Tom Brady.
Yeah, and Gronk's in it too. It's part of the trailer. The one old lady looks at Gronk, "You're so big," and he's like, "Thank you." What's bang? He doesn't say that, but that's naturally the next implied thing to happen.
I can win anyone.
I mean, if you guarantee me that Gronk was gonna have a gangbang with those 4 old ladies, then maybe I'd go see it.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, for academic purposes.
And a big screen in the movie theaters.
That'd be a different type of movie theater. That'd be like the 50 cent theaters back in the day.
I hope you'd be alone in that theater.
No, me and the grandmas with our jujubes. Speaking of old people, how about if we talk about the new Indiana Jones movie starting 118-year-old Harrison Ford?
So this is going to make my list.
Yeah.
But it didn't because I haven't seen the original ones.
Okay.
I couldn't tell if it was a good homage or a bad remake. So.
Yeah, no, they're still coming up with new stories.
Oh, this is a new story?
This is totally new. Oh yeah, they're like, Harrison Ford's gotta get back on the fucking road. There's no way that he's possibly too old and decrepit to keep doing this shit. He's not Tom Cruise, man. He's also like 80 years older than Tom Cruise. I don't know what they're doing to this man. I honestly feel bad for him. I don't know if he has money problems. I don't know why the hell they're making this movie. Or why they haven't. If you're gonna keep the franchise going, hand it off to somebody else. You know what I mean? I think they thought they were gonna do that with Shia LaBeouf back with the shitty movie they brought back the franchise before, but he's a whole fucking train wreck. So I feel like the people who run this IP, the Indiana Jones IP, have just been caught with their pants down, and they're like, well, all we have is Harrison Ford, so just fucking put him out there again.
I mean, dude, their stunt double is gonna get paid. He's gonna be.
He should.
He's gonna get paid. Just if you do decide to watch this movie, you shouldn't. But if you do, look for how many shots are behind his head.
It's a good question. Yeah, I wonder if they're just gonna start. What's that technology called where you just put people's faces? Yeah, just do deep fakes of Harrison Ford on like ripped young guys' bodies. I wonder when they're gonna start doing that. Who's out there being like, oh great, the 7th Indiana Jones movie has come out. I can't wait to see Harrison Ford go kick ass. Like, it's not what he does anymore.
80 years old. Like, let him breathe.
And to answer your question, like I have seen the older ones. They're good. Like they are exciting. They seem kind of relics of their old time to some degree. Like you know, but just because so many movies ripped them off over time, it's not because they weren't original. They were original back in the day, but every movie has ripped them off for so long that you watch that and you're like, oh, I've seen this 1,000 times. You know, like there's a really exciting scene where
there's not much you can do now.
Right, there's nothing more that they can spice it up with, especially when your lead actor is 100-something years old. It really limits what you can do physically. You know what I mean? So yeah, I can't imagine this being good. I highly advise people to avoid it. Stop giving your money to these dead franchises. Let them die. Let them just go out to pasture like an old cow, you know? Or butcher them and eat the meat.
Yeah, we can eat eat that old cow. All right, so my last movie for this list, again, it wasn't in particular order, but just the last one I decided to bring up is The Marvels.
The Marvels.
So it's an MCU movie, which I am not confident in right now.
I mean, I gotta be honest, I'm completely out on MCU in general, but proceed.
I mean, the last thing I saw was Loki, and you know, I've tried to watch the other shows, tried to watch She-Hulk, bailed, tried to watch
WandaVision.
I tried to watch WandaVision, could kind of get behind it, but still dipped eventually. They've kind of been a CGI mess, and I feel like this is what, you know, the Marvels, their powers are like crazy. Okay. And, you know, again, like I was talking about with Shazam, like they seem really OP, and Miss Marvel in the Miss Marvel movie she was overpowered.
Oh yeah,
And
I didn't see the original, but that's all that I heard, and that's honestly why I didn't see it. I mean, we saw it in Infinity War where she just flies through a giant space shuttle, or a spaceship. Like she literally just destroys it by flying through.
yeah, and then in this movie, there's 4 of them.
Yeah, so yeah, I can see that definitely being a problem. What is up with that?
Yeah.
What is up with like you brought up earlier, Black Adam? Like, what is up with these movies not figuring out that your heroes need to go through a challenge? I don't understand what's so hard to understand about that.
Exactly.
Have they not heard of the hero's journey? Like that is a very basic principle.
Their powers are so crazy too, where again, with the whole CGI thing, I don't know how good the CGI is going to be, and if there's going to be this giant CGI massive battle at the end. So.
Yeah, and how good of an actor do you really have to be to do this?
I mean, Marvel, he's right here.
And dude, whenever Fassbender's done being Magneto, I'm ready. Oh, that's not MCU. Oh, yeah, it is. They're bringing in the X-Men. Let's go. I would highly suggest, really to wrap it up, all these movies that we mentioned, just be very careful. We're not guaranteeing that they're going to suck, but we're pretty damn sure of it. And we could be wrong, right? We could definitely be wrong.
If these movies come out really bad, don't buy tickets unless they're so bad that they're funny.
One thing I would suggest to people in general is always you don't need to see stuff opening night. I understand why people think they need to, but wait a day or two, read the reviews, and just sit. You might save yourself $40. Like if you go with another person, you're getting snacks, drinks, like that adds up. You can sit at home and watch an actually good movie for a fraction of the price.
Yeah.
So it's just something to think about.
Yeah, just like, subscribe. If you agree with us, let us know in the comments. If you disagree with us, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, or don't.
Or don't.
Tell us any movies that you think are really going to suck in 2023. Or maybe some other ones, like we said, that are going to be so bad that they'll be good. If you're a big Cocaine Bear fan, maybe you want to give a shout out. We'll see what happens. But yeah, thanks for checking us out. Thanks for checking out this video.
Like and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about the movie in the comments below.
Let us know if there's any movies you want us to watch. Who knows, maybe we'll watch them together.